What new horrors await Yara Flor as she continues her descent into the underworld? Well, let's hop into the pages of Future State Wonder Woman issue number 2, the grand finale of this Future State series, and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up from where the last issue left off, the new Brazilian Wonder Woman, Yara Flor, along with her friend Kapora, were attempting to cross the River Styx. This proves to be a lot easier said than done, as security in the underworld is very tight. They had accidentally woken up the three-headed demon dog Cerberus. But instead of fighting this problem, the new younger Wonder Woman actually uses her brain and comes up with a rather ingenious and admittedly hilarious solution. She uses her bolos in conjunction with the lasso to steal some bones off the skeletal Charon the Boatman of the underworld, meaning that Cerberus is going to chase after those bones and not our hero, because I mean, hey, even a demon dog loves fetching. Yara will unfortunately have to make the rest of this dangerous trip on her own, as Kapora is staying behind. She does, however, say that the real threat on the other side of this journey won't be the monsters or the hazards, but it will be Yara's own impulsive nature that she has to overcome. Now, it's in this issue, too, we actually get a little bit more insight into what exactly it is Yara is after. In the previous issue, they had made reference to Yara wanting to get back her sisters. Here, she interchangeably uses the word sister with soldier. This admittedly didn't make a lot of sense to me at first, but it ends up making perfect sense later on. Yara falls through a hole in the underworld and reaches a whole new lair. Here she's met by a veritable who's who of Greek mythology notables, including King Minos, who says that really her soul should have been torn up long before ever reaching this lair. This new Wonder Woman, though, showing that she has quite a sense of humor, says, "Oh no, look, I've been torn up quite a lot, can't you tell?" before doing that oh-so-classic "I took my thumb off" trick. Unfortunately, though, the Greek underworld may very well be the toughest comedy crowd anyone has ever been forced to play for, because before you can say Sisyphusian torture, Yara comes face to face with the god of the underworld himself, King Hades, who in this new Jolene Jones artwork looks like a frickin' Dark Souls boss. I love everything about it. Hades isn't an idiot. He knows full well why Yara is here, and he's also pretty ticked off at the idea that she's made such a mockery of the lines between life and death by coming here like she has. Hades also showcases that he can speak Portuguese, which is pretty impressive, but then again, I guess you don't live for as long as this guy does without picking up a couple languages here and there. While the Lord of the Underworld wants to crush our new Wonder Woman like a bug, it's actually his wife, Persephone, who convinces him to give Yara a chance, and I must say, I like how Persephone is drawn here as this very sad, angelic figure who doesn't actually speak. Now, what exactly does this chance entail? Well, admittedly, very little. Yara has until the hourglass empties to find the lost soul of her sister Portera. And if she should fail, both souls will be lost forever in hellish torment. Hey, speaking of Portera, did you know that's actually an even older Portuguese word meaning flower, and we already knew from the previous issue that Flor means flower. So not only do these two women seem to be sisters in the Amazon sense of we're all warrior sisters together, but it also seems like they may have a more deeper connection. But how did Yara's sister die? Well, for that we actually get treated to a rather interesting flashback. We see the Themyscira coming under attack by soldiers that are very clearly from man's world. Portera was hanging off a ledge, and instead of taking her sister Yara's hands, instead she threw a spear, saving her sister's life at the cost of her own, which would make a lot of sense as to why this new Wonder Woman is willing to risk so much life and limb to get her back. Now, while Yara may very well have beaten Hades' time trial, he is nothing if not a very sore loser. Oh, sure, I'm not going to torture your souls forever now, but that doesn't mean I'm just going to let you walk out of the underworld. The two reunited sisters barely have a minute to breathe before they have to fight their way past more legions of horrible underworld monsters before eventually, in a twist of very cruel irony, Portera ends up getting crushed under a giant rock, again probably like the one Sisyphus is forced to keep pushing uphill all the time. Yara refuses to leave without her sister, but the other Brazilian Amazons can't let that happen. They need their heaviest hitter by their sides for the wars to come. This sadly means Yara once again is tragically ripped away from her sister, but she says that this is not the last time they will see each other, and that this will be the fuel for her fire, and that one day the two will be reunited again as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Future State Wonder Woman issue number 2, and even though this ended up being a really brief story, I think it did a pretty excellent excellent job introducing us to the character of Yara Flor and what drives her to be a very different kind of Wonder Woman than Diana. And even if this 2-pack of stories ended up just being a commercial for the brand new Wonder Girl series starting soon, it did a really good job getting me excited for that series and where it could potentially go. Amazons, but with the flavor of Brazilian culture on top of them, is just a really clever idea and something I'm sure they could expand in any number of interesting ways. Then you got Jolie Jones's art, which is just as always eye-poppingly beautiful. Also, even though it feels like this one may have ended abruptly, I still think it's more of a complete story than, say, Superman of Metropolis. This one has a beginning, a middle, and end, and even ends on a bittersweet note, which is why I would ultimately feel comfortable giving this one a very positive 8.5 out of 10. Solid stuff.
Hey there everyone, Cape Joel again, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. It really helps drive engagement and helps me out too. Also, if you are a patron, which you can become for as little as $1 a month, you will get exclusive content that no one else can ever see, and you'll get to see the Comic Multiverse podcast before anyone else too. You can check out all this and more down in the description. And until next time everyone, this has been Cape Joel, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers.